Okay, so in the last exercise, we used a graph to find an equation. In this time, we're going to use a table to find an equation. The graph's going to be there just to help us. Here we have some values on the line over here. And what we're going to want to do is to try and find the equation based on what we can see. Now, I found the first difference for you, and x is going up by 1 each time, which makes it easy because that way we're always going to be dividing by 1. And the difference is 1. So the rise of 1 divided by the run of 1 will give us 1. So the number in front of x, the coefficient of x, will be 1. And the y-intercept we can see here is 4. And the corresponding value to x equals 0, which is here, when x is 0, y is going to be 4, is here. So now we can put our equation together. We have a rise over run. Shall I just put the run in? We can see that the run here is even all the way across, so it's okay. We take this number, we divide it by that number, we stick it in front of x. So y equals 1 divided by 1 times x plus the y-intercept, which is this value here. We can see it there, which will give us 1 times x is x plus 4 as expected. Now over here we have a second case. Let's build it up. So we need to find the rise over the run. The rise again is going to be 1. Sorry, the rise. I keep saying the rise. The run is going to be 1. That's the x increase each time. And we can see that it's constant, so it's going to work. Now each time, for every time that x goes up by 1, y is only going up by a half. So from 4.5 to 5 is a half, from 5 to 5.5 is a half, so on and so forth. And they're all constant, so that's good too. Now we can write that out. So the rise, a half divided by 1, or if you divide anything by 1, it's itself. So we can just write a half here. And this also makes sense. For every 1 that it goes up, it goes across 2. Let's check. 1, 2 for the run, 1 up for the rise. Still works. And then we need to find the y-intercept. Well, a bit harder, it's over here somewhere. But our table of values can be our friend here. When x is 0, which would be here, y is 4.5. So we can stick that straight into the equation. And so this equation describes all the points on this line verified by that table. This one over here is a bit different because the graph's been drawn differently. But the same rules apply. So from -1 to 0 is just 1. From 0 to 1 is just 1. If we wrote the rise over the run, this time it's not going up, it's actually going down by 1. So it's going from 11 to -10. Oh no, that's still increasing. It's not -1 at all. So from -11 to -10 is 1. There we go. So that would be 1 divided by 1. Now the y-intercept is when x is 0. So we take this value over here and we jam it in at the end of the equation. So y will be x take 10. Quite an easy one. This next one's a bit different though. Let's see, from 7 to 6 it's gone down by 1, from 6 to 5 it's gone down by 1, from 5 to 4 it's gone down by 1, from 4 to 3 it's gone down by 1, and this is increased by 1 each time. Okay, so y is equal to the rise, or in this case the fall, over the run, plus this value here when x is 0. Well, we can kind of work that out because we know when it's 2 it's 7, so when it's 1 it's going to go down by 1, that'll get us to 6. To get to 0 it'll go down by another 1, that'll get us to 5. Now we have the corresponding y value for x equals 0, and we can write that over here. Anything divided by 1 is itself. Negative 1 times x will just give us negative x. And there we go. That should be enough for you to finish off exercise 11C. And if you feel a bit challenged, you can go and try 11D as well. Thank you, everyone.